In the middle of the Caribbean Sea, a family is out on their yacht, enjoying a peaceful vacation. The mother, Julia, dives into the water for a swim. As she floats and relaxes, she suddenly feels something strange. But since there's nothing visible around, she assumes it's just her imagination. A few seconds later, she feels it again. This time, it's stronger. She starts to panic and quickly swims back toward the yacht. Suddenly, something grabs her leg. Julia screams for help, thrashing in the water. Her daughter Cassie has headphones on, listening to music, so she can't hear anything. Her husband Tom and their son Ben are busy fishing. Julia's voice gets weaker and weaker as water fills her mouth. After a while, Tom realizes Julia isn't visible anymore. He rushes to the edge and sees her struggling in the water. He yells for the kids, steers the yacht closer, and jumps in. Somehow, he manages to grab her and pull her back to the surface. Cassie and Ben help drag them both inside. The family revives Julia. She tells them she probably got caught in the waves or something brushed past her accidentally. That night, they all sit together and celebrate Ben's birthday. Later, Cassie video calls her boyfriend. He shows her that dark clouds are gathering over the city, but before she can say much, the call freezes. Cassie tries to tell her family, but Tom says it's probably just poor signal since they're far from land. Just then, they hear a strange noise coming from outside. When they step out, they see a massive pod of whales swimming by. Tom explains that whales follow the Earth's magnetic field, but when storms or magnetic disturbances occur, they lose direction. Suddenly, the yacht shakes violently, and Ben falls over. Tom dives underwater to check what's wrong. When he comes back up, there's a deep wound on his shoulder. He says something huge was down there, but maybe it was just the propeller. The yacht's badly damaged, so Tom and Julia try to call for help, but both the phone and radio are dead. Then Cassie screams that she saw something weird in the water, but it turns out to be Ben playing a prank. Moments later, the yacht completely stops. They're stranded in the middle of the sea. Then the radar lights up. Something's approaching. Suddenly, fireballs start raining down from the sky, crashing into the ocean with thunderous blasts. One hits the water nearby, rocking the yacht hard. Tom struggles to steer as another explosion goes off. Soon they realize these aren't meteors, they're falling satellites. The yacht's engines start smoking. The winds grow wild and the family rushes inside. Compass starts spinning uncontrollably. That night, a massive storm hits. The yacht tosses violently. Ben gets injured and Julia's nose starts bleeding. The power goes out, but Tom manages to fix it. Suddenly, a sharp, high-pitched sound echoes around them. Then everything goes black. The next morning, when the family wakes up, the storm is over. But half the yacht is destroyed. They step outside and freeze. The ocean is gone. The yacht is now sitting on dry land. Tom checks the compass. It's spinning backward. He realizes Earth's magnetic poles have reversed. Suddenly, the radio crackles to life. A man's voice comes through. He calls himself Now, the captain of a submarine. He explains that the ocean has receded temporarily, but when it returns, it'll come back violently. He warns them to reach higher ground, fast. The next day, the family starts packing. On their way, they come across a limping man with a dog and a harpoon. Tom offers him water, but out of nowhere, the man attacks and kills Tom. Julia screams and hides the kids inside the yacht. She grabs a knife and hides in the bathroom. The man breaks in, searching. Julia sneaks out quietly, but the dog spots her. She kills it in panic. Enraged, the man charges at her, just as Cassie fires a flare gun, setting him on fire. The yacht catches fire too, and the family escapes. They later sit beside Tom's body, crying, saying their final goodbye. But before they can move on, the burned man returns once again. A huge explosion destroys the yacht, and they barely escape. As they wander across the dried seabed, they see dead marine creatures, toxic sludge, and wreckage everywhere. Their water supply runs out. Julia and Cassie argue out of frustration, but reconcile when they find a crashed airplane to spend the night in. At night, the same crazed man attacks again. But Julia stabs him to death. By morning, they discover bite marks all over his body. as if something small but vicious attacked him. Moments later, crabs crawl out of his mouth. They move on and come across a massive cargo ship, but the crew refuses to let them aboard. Suddenly, a swarm of deadly crabs emerges. Julia helps her kids climb up, but gets wounded herself. She still manages to survive as the crabs devour the crew alive. Later, she bandages her wounds, but collapses. When she wakes up, she's alone in a sandstorm. Somehow, she finds her kids again. They've been searching for her. They discover a container with supplies, water, a radio, and a gun. The radio crackles, now warns them that the ocean is about to return, and they only have a few hours left. Following a flare in the distance, they start walking and finally spot the submarine. But before reaching it, rocks begin to fall, separating Julia from her children. She yells at them to keep going. Cassie and Ben reach the sub, where they find Now, badly wounded. He hands them control of the submarine before dying. Cassie refuses to leave her mom behind and runs back. She finds Julia being attacked by a swarm of crabs. Julia fights them off with all her strength. Cassie pulls her up, and together they run toward the submarine. Ben provides cover fire from the hatch, shooting the crabs back. Julia and Cassie jump in, and Ben seals the hatch shut. Just then, the ocean returns, massive waves crashing down, tossing the submarine violently. The roaring sound is deafening. Everything goes dark. Hours later, they wake up, still alive. They slowly open the hatch and climb out. The submarine is now stuck between the ruins of a destroyed city. Julia looks at the horizon, sunlight breaking through the clouds. Cassie holds her hand. Ben whispers, "We made it." And right there, standing on the wrecked land, surrounded by the returning sea, they realize this is their new beginning. The survival story ends here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss more thrilling survival stories like this one. Thanks for watching.